Jump scare! Holy crap, ladies and gentlemen, we are freaking back. I don't really know what the first clip was. I wanted to, I don't know. Today's video, though, is inspired by an anime that I just started watching today. Not to be like, today's video is inspired by an anime that I started watching. Actually, okay, Netflix says that it came out in 2013, but it feels like a lot older than that, and I feel like I've seen it from before then. But it's called Hajime no Ippo, and it's basically like the Karate Kid, but just for boxing, and it takes place in Japan instead of like Chicago or whatever the heck the Karate Kid takes place. It's really good. It's a really good show so far. I'm really enjoying it. But there was a very quotable moment in like the second episode, or I guess not even like a quotable moment, but just a really cool moment where the main character is like, he's getting his ass beat in the boxing ring. He's like a 16-year-old kid, and he's like, I can take this pain, the pain of getting beat up in the boxing ring is far less painful than the pain of being beat up by like the bullies and stuff, because the pain that he felt when he would get beat up by the bullies was like a mental anguish, because he never stood up for himself. He let people like make fun of his mom and his family, and then he would just be like, okay, and then just let them like walk all over him and stuff. And he would say, this is not what I need to cook the ground turkey actually. But he's like, with boxing, it's like I can get back up and I can pick myself back up again and keep going and try harder. And I was like, fuck yeah, man, let's freaking go. And I was like, it's kind of something that I've sort of like touched on a couple of times in the past before, and it sort of kind of plays along that theme of like just thugging it out, which is definitely something I've talked about numerous times. But sometimes giving up is going to hurt you far more than just suffering through the fight or through the trial will ever come close to. Okay, giving up. Let's recap this one more time. Let's recap this. Giving up is going to hurt you far more than just suffering through the fight, going through the battle, rolling with the punches, whatever you want to call it. If you give up, you're doing yourself and whoever else might be silently rooting for you a disservice, and you don't want to do that. And that also is kind of like a side little tangent here. Is like you never know who's rooting for you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's a lot of there's like that kind of cliche saying where it's like, you never know who's talking behind your back, so be weary of who you hold close and all this kind of like stupid stuff, which I guess is true or whatever if you want to like try to be dramatic. But a cooler way to spin that exact same sentiment is that you also don't know who's rooting for you and who is inspired by you or encouraged by you, or when you win, they feel like they win. You never know. You never know. So if you needed another reason to not give up, just think about that. Think about that silent fan club that you might have. Not even might have, that you do have, dude. And I think you'd be surprised by what frickin' willpower you can pull out of your butt crack and keep frickin' going. Speaking of willpower, Green Lantern, the new Green Lantern show, it's really good. I watched the first episode yesterday when I was doing my cardio. It's pretty good. It's pretty freaking good, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I did a bunch of dishes. I'm gonna feed my cat and then make my lunch and stuff for the next couple of days. I hope you guys had an awesome Tuesday, by the way. But yeah, dude, Hajime no Ippo. I've heard about it a lot of times. Dude, I want to say I first ever heard of it, or like heard the name. I've definitely seen like the animation and stuff because it's very iconic. It's a very like cult classic anime. It's like the old Berserk, like 97 Berserk series. Super similar vibes, like in terms of animation and music and all that kind of stuff. It's really, really good. But I want to say it was in a Sam Sulek video that he was talking and he like mentioned it. And I know he's kind of a ball knowledge haver when it comes to anime and stuff. So if you guys like lifting, and not even if you like anime, but if you just need a new show to watch, check it out. It's on Netflix. Hajime no Ippo. It sounds like very anime from just the name. But beg you, please don't let that prevent you from just checking out like the first episode or something. You'll like it. I'm liking it. It's a good thing to watch while I'm like doing my my daily cardio and stuff. Ground turkey is low-key still kind of frozen. That sucks. I took this out yesterday night. How is it still frozen? What the heck? All right, whatever. The kitty cat food bowl is soaking. Some highs and lows for the day. Let's see. Honestly, I feel like I don't really have a low for the day. It was a really good freaking day. It was super productive, but not like in a stressful way where I feel like I was having to crunch or cram or do anything like that. It was just like, I don't know, I was low-key just hitting flow state at work and stuff. I was in nice and, I wouldn't say early, but on time and all that kind of stuff. Took my lunch. I started a new book today finally, so that was awesome. I finally finished reading Les Miserables, which in some translations is over 3,000 pages. The edition that I had was 1,200 pages, but it was like micro text. It was like basically a Bible, like super thin paper with hecka small text. 1,200 pages. It took me about 5.5 months to read it. Very good book. Cried numerous times. Definitely some moments where I was like, we did not need this or the previous like 20 pages in the book at all, but you know what? I don't know. Sometimes the old authors would just get lost in the sauce. Also, I know that some of them, like the author for Count of Monte Cristo, they were paid by paragraphs. Like a lot of these old books that are like super huge and stuff, they're that long because the author, whoever was writing them, like in the newspaper columns, and they were paid depending on how entertaining it was, and they were paid per paragraph. So like if people didn't read it or if people wanted to keep reading, they would just have to keep pulling more story out of their ass. And so there's a couple of, I don't think that's actually the case when it comes to Les Miserables. I know that Les Miserables was like actually pretty widely commercialized and promoted and stuff before it came out, but like the Count of Monte Cristo, that's one that I know for a fact where it was like a serialized series. I don't know if is that I don't know, but yeah, except Count of Monte Cristo, I would say, is an amazing book, and there's no moments where I'm like, okay, they could have taken this out. That is an amazing book. I don't really have any notes for that one, to be honest. I would love to reread it. Okay. Anyways, I mean, hey, with that book, same thing. That's another example. There's a couple of times where I'm like, it's a kind of like a sad sort of just like peek behind the curtain of society and stuff like that. But dude, there's like times where there's like 30-page sections and the author's talking about like how the Paris sewer system works, and it's like, dude, I don't care. But I didn't give up, and I'm glad I did, because now I can say, well, if this isn't why I read the book in the first place, now I can say, oh, I read a big-ass book. But I don't know, now I feel like you learn stuff. Just reading any kind of book, you learn things, but I don't know, man, that book was like heavy, dude. I feel like I really learned a lot just about like people and myself, and all that to say, I'm glad that I read it. I'm glad that I did not give up. And now I can flex. Yeah, I read a freaking 1,300-page book, 1,200-page book. It's no big freaking deal. So, and I actually retained information from it. So yeah, don't give up. I know life kind of freaking sucks. I'm not gonna, well, okay, hang on. No, retract all of that disgusting energy that I just put out. No, life does not just suck. There's sucky parts in life, but life doesn't just inherently suck, unless you're looking at it that way. I'm not trying to speak for you. I'm not trying to like lessen the burden that, you know, what you might be going through. Like, I'm not trying to lessen the impact of the things that you might be going through in your own personal life. But I'm just trying to say is that life has its sucky moments, and the more that you can learn to roll with that, roll with the punches, and then pick yourself back up stronger. Not to sound like not to sound like Rocky. It's not about how hard you get hit. It's about how hard you get hit and keep moving forward. It's true though. I'm not gonna lie. So, do with that what you will. You guys can live your lives however you want. That's just my 2 cents as a dude who's been doing his thing on his own for a while now. Okay. All that meat is in the pan. I think it was so frozen that it is like completely not even sizzling at all. It like completely nullified the heat from the pan. So that kind of sucks. I'm making some ground turkey and sweet potato bowls right now. Except I'm out of sweet potatoes, so I got to go to the store after the gym. Speaking of that, it is quad-focused leg day. That's going to be hype. I'm stoked. It's going to be sick. Okay. Anything else to talk about for the video? Not really. I'm going to work on I mentioned in yesterday's video that I'm going to be working on a giveaway, so that's going to be sick. If you want to win a Lego set, a Spider-Man Faith Shell, or some cool-ass freaking merch, stay tuned, because I'm going to be making some announcements here pretty soon. I think that's it. I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to take a shot for the thumbnail really quick, maybe something like some Karate Kid action here. Okay, that's probably good. Have an awesome rest of your night, guys. Morning, night, day, wherever the heck you are. I appreciate you watching. Don't give up. I'm rooting for you. Don't forget the silent fan club. Forget about all the haters who you don't even know are hitting. It's BS. Think about the supporters that you don't even know are supporting, okay? That's the mindset to have. I love you guys. Have an awesome rest of your night.